Hello, everybody. My name's Blaster JOA, and welcome to my First Amendment. I want to talk about how I lasted 16 years in a relationship in this sudden, abrupt separation, and my theory and concept and how I kept that relationship going for so many years. My theory was we are both equal. We see eye to eye. We both stand at 50%. I don't go 51. No, I go 59 or 49. 50%. And if we have to go, any of us, beyond or below, then the relationship's not worth it anymore. Eye to eye. I preached equality, not superiority. That both together, that we can succeed individually and as a unit. And that goes into physical fitness, intelligence, spiritual. And I guess with that concept alone, it worked. It worked for many, many years. And I never understood why. Until now. Until after the fact. Many years after the fact. That we wasn't plugged into the system. There was no cosmetology books. You're fat. Or you need this. Or you have to buy that. You need a status quo. So since we never watched TV, there was no real phones back then. It was mostly we're out and about. It was the hunt of exploration, the willingness to journey to the unknown and explore and expand your horizons. Test your body running up a mountain, swimming across the sea, meditating on a rock high on a mountain. And I must say it worked. It worked for many, many years. There was never an insight of outside interference. So that being said, so going by that theory of equalness on both parties and helping one another physically, the third eye or the Jedi or Chi, Zen. When you can find an equality in another and rely on them mentally, physically, spiritually, all of the above, you actually reach a higher plateau. Your aura grows. And I didn't really think about it back then, but many people would come to me and say, "Why are you smiling?" And I'm like, I don't know what you mean. I always see you and you're smiling. Well, thanks. Huh. I remember one particular time this black dude came up. We was at a party or something. And he came and he shook my hand. And he said, "You got a fine bitch. You better take care of that. I have to shake your hand because you got a fine bitch." And I just done laughing. And I think about it, it was the aura. It was that translucent soul that I guess people seen. It's the spiritual of the third kind. And as of now, today, I kind of learned why the elites the government. They want you fighting. They want you to hate man and woman. They want to separate the family. Because as a unit, as a whole, as a family, a couple, you become stronger, more resilient, more educated, a bigger thought processing unit. And I think that's what I developed. That sense of your spirit, more in control of your mind and body. And that was the Force, the Jedi, Chi, Zen. And through them 14 years with that type of Zen that was in my life at that time, it was uplifting. It was, I could recall learning so much, doing so many, having to thrive, having that spirit of challenge and goals and finishing that goal and having that adrenaline. I could do it. I could do anything. I could find anything. I could fix anything. And that's what they don't want. That's what the government, the New World Order, is against. You having that ability of critical thinking. That power of judgment. So after so many years at such a high status between two individuals, what could possibly destroy this dynasty, this little empire? We plugged into the system. I'm not going to say that we were poor. We were off. We were the moderate poor Stockton couple. And then yet, strangely, her friends would come around in these Mercedes and these brand new houses and say, you should have this and you should own that. Yet they were losing their house in foreclosure, late on their car payment. They couldn't support the lifestyle. They had all these fancy things that they didn't own that they were paying for. Struggling on these items of luxury. But yet, we lived comfortably. We lived within our means. Our car was already paid for. There was no car payment. Save up and pay the insurance for a year. It's mandatory in California. It was cheaper. So we lived within our means. And we had a good time with it. And then slowly, it just starts breaking down. And as I look back now, and I see the progress that it became over a short period of time. See, this is the staggering downfall of such a triumphant destiny. It started within a 2-year span. We went and bought our first house. 2 people together for so long and overcoming the odds and having so much accomplishments made. And then it was gradual. I really didn't notice it. I thought one-time deal, maybe less, I don't know. But after we got the house, it was like, I want these Swedish couches. Like, alright, yeah, whatever. You know, you know, it's a new house. Why not? New Swedish couches. You know, and that costs money. That goes on the credit cards. That goes on the bills. Extra on whatever income that we were having at the moment. And then it was like, I want these Euro tables. And they were very expensive. Yeah, you know what I mean? That does add to this, a more of a burden to the situation. And as we both got more successful in our careers, our jobs, or whatever you want to call it, I guess that outside interference started to emerge as we plugged in the system. You should weigh that much, and you should have that hair color, and you should drive that car, and you should have that Coach bag, and you ain't shit if you don't have that status. And now you're reading them in the books. You're watching TV now, and you're seeing the shows, fortune and fame and pearls and diamonds, and it's an illusion. It's an illusion. Those people are fake on TV. That shit ain't real. Us as individuals, I would say we are real people. But that facade, that illusion, kept growing. And it was like, we're already in debt. So what is the means for more? Oh, I want this Coach purse. I want this new Mercedes, new BMW. And it's like, while we own our car, we don't have a payment. We only have a payment on this and that. So why would you add a triple, double payment on payments we already have? Well, it's not good enough. She said this, and they said that, and I read this, and it's like, whoa. Where did all this come from? I've never heard you speak of such terminology. Remember, it was 50-50. Let's go and smell the flowers. And I was like, no, I'll pay someone to smell the flowers. It's like, whoa, that's not you no more. You pretty much sold out. You sold your soul. And you got a bad deal out of it. It took a dive very fast from that point. I knew the mentality was different. Arguments occurred, fights. Oh, now we owe this and we're late on that. Well, you wanted to buy that and you needed that, and your friend said you should use that and buy that. That wasn't my problem. But since we're a duel, it is my problem. I didn't want to keep up with the Joneses. I didn't like that kind of lifestyle. I wanted to run naked in the field with the flowers. So in terms, I planned my escape. I swallowed my pride, and I knew what was going to be coming when I made a decision. After so many years, after so much other journeys that we've been through, other obstacles, how did this happen? And now looking back and analyzing everything that has happened with a fine-tooth comb, we plugged in. We plugged into the system. All the hate, I'm better than you, ain't shit. And I took the big one. I knew I was beat. I knew after, I would say, 14 of them years of a unit with little or minimal no arguments. It was a peaceful, spiritual upbringing relationship. To succumb to a materialistic, social, iconic, glamorous individual that the illusion makes you out to be. So, you fall into the spell. They want you to be independent because you're stronger together. They want you to fight amongst each other. Between race, between sex, gender. When all this was happening, I was asleep. And as later, after the fact, and I have awoke, and I could put the system that they're putting in place now through education, through labor working, through the New World Order, and I put that into the equation of the last 2 years. To me, it sums up a lot. How easy mind manipulation, propaganda, mind control, how powerful that is. And I'm thinking if we were aware, or I was aware of what was happening and why these commercials saying buy this and that magazine says you're too fat and the song says you're a scrub. I know why now. But if I would have knew then, can I have changed it? Who knows? At this point, it's gone. It's dead. What's done is done. You sold your soul. I can still look in the mirror and see my soul. It's damaged. Don't get me wrong. But it's still there. And even though it's damaged, my chi, my aura, my zen, my spirit, or at least I know I still have it. And I know, even though it's difficult now for me, it's still there. I still got my pride and integrity. I didn't sell out my friends or family because I had more money than them, or I was stronger than them, or anything. My life was equal. You treat as you will be treated. And when you start treating people down because you feel you're on a higher pedestal, is when you lost your soul. When you're not in touch. You don't want to smell the flower and climb the mountain and swim the seas and camp and hike and fish and swim. Now it's an illusion. It's automated. It's on TV. It's on your iPhone. Virtual. Pay someone to do it. They have taken out the physical aspect. They have broken the spiritual concept. And it's going to continue if people are not educated. People are not aware. My name is Blaster J. Way, and I'm out. Peace.